He never thought a single moment could change his entire life. 1 second, he was just a tired single dad carrying groceries up the stairs of his old apartment building, and the next, he was holding a stranger in his arms, saving her from tumbling down a flight of stone steps that could have ended everything. He didn't know her name, didn't know her world, all he saw were her terrified eyes locking with his. In that instant, something shifted inside both of them. Neither knew it yet, but this small act of fate would bind their lives forever. It was an ordinary morning in the life of Daniel Hayes, a man who had forgotten what ordinary happiness felt like. A widowed father of a 6-year-old girl named Emma, Daniel's days were a blur of waking up early, packing lunches, working 2 jobs, and pretending to smile for his daughter's sake. He worked as a mechanic during the day and drove for a rideshare service at night. Life wasn't kind, but he was determined, because Emma deserved more than what the world had left him with that morning. Emma was tugging at his hand, excited about her school project, a family tree. "Daddy, do we have pictures of Mommy?" she asked, her innocent eyes cutting right through his tired soul. He smiled, hiding the ache in his chest. "We do, sweetheart. I'll print one today." He dropped her off, then hurried to the grocery store, thinking only about saving a few dollars on bread and milk. That's when it happened. A woman in a sharp navy suit was rushing down the same staircase, her phone pressed to her ear, her heels clicking fast. Daniel noticed her only when her heel caught a loose edge of the step. The world seemed to slow, the phone slipped from her hand, her arms flailed, and Daniel dropped his bags, lunging forward. His arms caught her just in time. Groceries scattered, a can rolled away, but she was safe. For a moment, they just stared at each other. Her breath was shaky, her eyes wide. She was stunning, not in the polished, untouchable way rich people look, but in the way her fear gave way to something human. I didn't see you." "Thank you," she stammered. Daniel smiled awkwardly, rubbing the back of his neck. "Guess I was in the right place at the right time." She laughed softly, a nervous, genuine laugh that felt too rare in his world. What Daniel didn't know was that this woman, Olivia Carter, wasn't just anyone. She was the CEO of Carter & Row, one of the city's largest marketing firms. To the world, she was a powerhouse, confident, sharp, and cold. But inside, she was exhausted, lonely, and tired of the masks she wore every day. And today, she had been one meeting away from breaking down entirely. That rescue. It was more than just a physical save, it felt like a sign. Later that week, Olivia couldn't get his face out of her mind. She didn't even know his name, but something about the way he'd looked at her, without expectation, without pretense, lingered. For once, someone saw her not as Ms. Carter, the CEO, but just as a woman who'd almost fallen. Fate wasn't done yet. A few days later, Daniel was late for his second job, delivering cars for a client. The address led him to a sleek corporate building downtown. As he parked the car in front, a familiar voice called out, "You again." He turned, surprised. It was her. The same woman. The falling stranger. She was standing by the glass doors, smiling now, confident, her hair perfectly done, a different world from the staircase moment. Daniel chuckled nervously. "You again. You okay? No more staircases?" She laughed. "None so far." There was a pause, a moment of awkward warmth. She looked at him closely, then asked, "Do you work around here?" He shook his head. "Just delivering this car. I'm a mechanic, mostly." Something in her expression softened. For a reason she couldn't explain, she wanted to keep talking. They ended up sharing a coffee in the building's cafe. It was strange, they came from completely different lives, yet their conversation flowed effortlessly. Daniel told her about Emma, his daughter, how she loved stars, how she missed her mother. Olivia listened, her heart melting a little more with each word. When he asked about her life, she hesitated, then smiled faintly. "It's busy. Too busy sometimes." That day turned into another. And another. She started visiting the mechanic shop, under the excuse of checking on her car. Emma loved her instantly, the lady with shiny shoes. But Daniel, though grateful, stayed guarded. He couldn't imagine a world where someone like Olivia would truly see him, a man with calloused hands and an old car that barely ran. He'd been hurt before by people who promised to stay and didn't. Then one evening, after closing his shop, Daniel found Olivia sitting outside on the curb. Her eyes were red. She'd just come from a board meeting where her own business partner betrayed her, selling off company secrets. Her empire was cracking, and she didn't know who to trust. When she saw Daniel, something inside her broke. "I don't know why I came here," she whispered, "but this feels like the only place I can breathe." He didn't say much. He just sat beside her, silent, steady. Sometimes words weren't needed, presence was enough. Weeks passed. They became something neither could name, not yet love, but more than friendship. Daniel helped her remember what it felt like to be human. Olivia helped him believe that he deserved more than just surviving. Then came the moment that tested them both.